Hello everybody, it's Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So I have taken a little bit of a break from pick a card videos for a while, but it's actually Christmas. I'm recording this on the 29th of December, so I have had some new tarot decks, woohoo, which I'm very grateful for from my family and friends. So I've decided I have to do a video to play with them and use them a bit. But I am engrossed and very much enjoying my Learn Tarot series of videos. That's to support my Learn Tarot, Learn the Cards and How to Read Them book that I've got available on the Amazon Kindle. The link is in the description box for you to click. But also have a look at my channel to watch the videos. I've just recorded the Empress video, but from the time that you actually come across this video, I might have even completed the series, so it's worth your while having a look. I've got a playlist there for you to find the videos on, and you could well enjoy them. Help you understand tarot readings a bit more. And obviously we're coming to the end of 2020, so I want to plug my Tarot Readings for the Star Signs 2021 book as well. That link is also in the description box. You can buy both books immediately, and this is a 5-star reviewed book. So if you're looking for a year's worth of tarot readings on your horoscope, this is the book for you. So let's get on with it. I spent a while thinking about what question I could do for these different cards. I'll show you the cards in each reading, by the way. And it just made sense to me to what big changes are ahead for you in your life, because we're transitioning from one year to another. And boy, has 2020 been a year. I don't know anybody that's been able to live exactly the same life. Everybody's life's been impacted. So it's going to be interesting to see how really the results of all those changes are going to unfold in our 2021. So this isn't so much a what's going to happen in 2021 for you. I've already done a video on that. I'll try and remember to put a link to it in the description box. This is more what big changes are ahead for you in the near future from you watching this video. So it is completely timeless. I'm just inspired by the change in the year. So as you can see, I've got 4 sweets because it's Christmas and we've got lots of chocolates. I've laid out 4 sweets for you. So we've got number 1, which is the green sweet. Number 2, which is the purple sweet. Number 3, which is the red sweet. And number 4, which is the orange sweet. So I want you to relax, keep calm, take a few deep breaths. And when you feel open and ready, ask yourself the question, what big changes are ahead for me in the near future? This is going to be over the next few weeks to a maximum of 2 months in your life, but really within the next month. Just remain open, and when you feel ready, go ahead and make your choice. The timestamps are in the description box, so just go ahead and click when you're ready. If you need a bit more time to choose, then please press pause. Okay, so you chose the green sweet, that's number 1. Now, the cards that I actually got for Christmas, this was one of the sets. The other set that I got was the movie tarot. Whoops, I knew that was going to happen. The movie tarot cards, which I will use. But the reason I was excited about these, which is familiar, because I really wanted them, but also it completes this collection. I think there are going to be more published in this witches sort of wisdom oracle collection, but for the moment this completes that 3 for me anyway. So I'm excited, and these are the 3 that I'm going to mainly use, and then we will use the tarot deck to see what other information comes across. And I'm actually going to do the shuffling on camera, so as we go along, so be patient, because I want this to be a nice relaxed video. That's relaxing for me, perhaps boring for you. So, Watchtower of the West, Autumn. And now the good ones, the new ones. The witches' familiars. Goat potency. It's a creepy looking goat, but don't worry about that. So, what big changes are ahead for you over the next month? So if you're watching this immediately as me publishing it, it's the beginning of 2021, but it really is the month from when you watch the video. You are letting things shed from your life. Oops. You are letting things shed. I'm just trying to pull these a bit. There are things that you've outgrown. Then this might be ways of thinking, this might be people, this might be a working situation, a lifestyle situation. 2020 really has taught a lot of people exactly what was going right and wrong in their life and given really a lot of disturbance. You're at the phase, I think, where you've recognised that there are things that are perhaps toxic in your life, that are unhealthy for you to be engaging in, that because the knock-on effect on your life, maybe it's destabilised it and it unsettled you, but now I think that you are stabilising yourself. That you are literally like the autumn leaves from the trees, shedding away the things that are just holding you back. And they don't have to have been holding you back permanently. It could be just in the past few weeks or the past few months that you've had this building up in you, and you suddenly, it's reached a peak and you're now like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to let it go. It's not helping. It's not healthy. I'm very miserable with it, and it's not who I want to be. It's not really who I am. I've got to let it go. You know, and it can be something actually that has been very healthy in your life. You know, the leaves on the trees are very healthy throughout the summer, but you've outgrown it, and your new life, or the life that you're currently living, and the life that you're planning for yourself, or that you're going to be living in the near future, you just don't need it. So it just feels to me that you've gone through a lot of change and a lot of growth, and you're just looking and thinking, things aren't going to stay the way they've been. I'm going to accept change and embrace change, and maybe even initiate change in your life. This is something that you've been very bonded to. This is, you know, been an important part of your life, an integral part of your life, but as much as you perhaps really adore it and love it and feel connected and bonded to it, you've also looked and thought, yeah, it's not the way it used to be, or it's not revivable. It's not, it's run its course, really. It's you know, it's now in the past rather than in your future, your present or your future. For some of you, this has caused immense pain, but you've accepted it and you're moving on. And the thing that's going to really help you through this is potency. And obviously potency can mean many things to many different people, but really what it's saying for me here on this is that what's going to help you get through this transition phase, or this phase of disconnecting bonds, whether they're internal bonds to yourself, you know, attitudes you have about yourself and about the world, and you're very bonded to that. You're letting these things loose, or it could be a person, or it could be, you know, a situation, or your career in your life. You're letting it go. And perhaps creating new bonds for you that are much better for the new you. You're going to be very potent, and by that I mean, say you're trying to create something, you're going to be inspired creatively. You're going to feel the energy that you need to meet new people, make new friends, maybe try and find a new lover, or, you know, a romantic partner. You're going to be filled with energy and drive to pursue that career you've always wanted, or the career that you've decided you want to try next, or anything in your life that you want. You're going to be filled with the potency to do it, which from my perspective is a blessing for you, because it's saying, yeah, the things that you want to leave behind and move away from, that you're letting fall out of your life and be good in someone else's life, or be good in a different way, you know, like the mulched up leaves can provide fertilizer in your compost heap, or, you know, for new life in the spring. You're letting it go with love and kindness, and letting it become something else or someone else. And it's saying, yeah, this is going to free up so much in your life for you to truly be potent, to truly have energy and vigor in order to have the new. And that really depends on what new it is that you would like in your life. And if you're not sure, I feel it probably will come to you. You're going to get that surge of energy to have what you really want. Yeah, 8 of Wands. So it's happening quickly. I think what you're doing is going through the process quickly. And it's different for everybody. Sometimes people take years to go through like a spiritual development, a spiritual progression, which is what I feel this group are going through, a spiritual progression. But other people can do it in weeks or even days. And the odd person can do it in hours because they've already quite spiritually developed, because they're already primed. You know, they've got the right psychology for it. But if it's taken you years to reach this point, it doesn't matter. It's still good that you're getting there. And others of you, you're doing things quite quickly. And I think for some of you, this could be a quite quick spiritual development that you've gone through. And so therefore the change is coming about quickly. Even if you've been waiting maybe months or even years for this change to come, it's now coming about quickly. 6 of Swords, yeah, you're going to suddenly quickly, if you're like not in this phase, you're going to suddenly quickly sort of like, yeah, I'm ready, change your mind. You're letting go of bonds, you're moving on. It doesn't have to be physical movement. You don't have to move house, city or country. You're changing your mindset. You're flipping it around. You're looking and saying, do you know what, here I am. It's not so much the grass is greener, it's just where I am, it's slush and mud and it's just not happening. But if I go over and change my mind and flip it, I can turn it around and I've got lush, gorgeous green grass life on the other side. The landscape is much better, and it's because your mindset is different. You're mentally leaving behind something that's no good. Queen of Swords. Yeah, you're coming into your own power, and I think this is where your potency comes from. It's your mental potency. You're going to start seeing things very clearly. You know, if you've been tangled up in anxiety and stress, if you've been tangled up in lots of negative thinking, you've been frightened and you've been uncertain and unsure of your own powers and abilities, you've reached the point where you're like, no. You've recovered, you've healed, you're like, no, I am talented, I am capable, I am attractive, I am better than the way I've been treating myself for this period. And you're coming out of it the other side, and this is where the mindset's changing. You're starting to think of things that perhaps made you feel frightened or anxious or inhibited and sort of you just wanted to run away from it. You're starting to flip things around and just starting to say, do you know what? I've been looking at this entirely the wrong way. It's not as bad as I've been building up in my mind, in my heart. And in fact, it's an entirely retrievable situation. It's an entirely improvable situation. You know, you might have to accept that some things are over and they're not going to happen, that you really wanted them to happen, you really believed in them and they were going to make you happy, but they've just not happened. And you're like, okay, I'm going to have to let that go and move on to something else. There's something else in my life that I've got to do now, and maybe when the circumstances are right in the future, I can go back and really try and make this thing happen. And that could well. And it's because you're having this mindset that you're just sort of flipping it around, and you're just looking on the bright side. You're sort of looking at things less emotionally and more rationally. This is what's going to bring about the change that you've probably been desperate for and really desiring. But because you've gone through the process and calmed down a lot, it's now going to start coming around. And the more you start to change your mind and like look on the positive rather than the negative, the better life's going to be. Three of Wands, yeah, you're going to be getting more opportunities. So could be anything in your life. Bottom of the deck is the Star. Good old Judy Garland, A Star Is Born. So it could be something that you've been wishing for, that you've been trying to create into your life, something that seems fantastical to you, and I think you're just in a phase of recovery. The Star card is just as much about recovering after bad times as it is anything else about wishes coming true and fantasies and hoping. It's about that phase of I've been knocked down, but I've got back up again, and I'm not gonna be defeated. I've still got opportunities and life left in me to live, and that vibe comes across very well in this reading, that whatever's happened, that you've taken a blow over, you are now in the phase where you're recovering. I don't think you're beginning to recover. I think you're well into that recovery phase, maybe midway through, and some of you could be coming close to the end, if not finishing it. You're willing to take chances and get yourself out there in a way that you perhaps weren't mentally or emotionally ready to a short while ago. But new opportunities are opening up for you. You're expanding your horizon. You're seeing that there are other things out there than perhaps what you've been really trying to make manifest into your life, and that has just not been happening. You're starting to look and think, okay, maybe now's not the right time for that to happen in my life, or I've got to do something else first. Because a lot of people have not been able to do the things they really wanted to and have had to adapt to other things. So yeah, there's new opportunities out there for you that you're going to come across, and it's because you're changing your mindset. And that's the biggest change that's going to be happening to you over the next month. And things I think are going to be happening quickly. I think for a lot of you, it could be big changes over the next week or two. It really feels that close. It doesn't feel like over the next month. It feels like over the next week. So that's your reading. I hope that it's helped you. If you want to get a private reading from me, you can. You just need to send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. It's all in the description box, all the information that you need to go ahead and read it first. And then if you're interested, send me the email and I will get right back to you. But otherwise, you please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Hello, so you chose number 2. Now, the decks that I got the movie tarot, which was a deck that I got my eye on. So when I suddenly got it at Christmas, that was wonderful. I've got my eye on quite a lot of different tarot decks, so but it was just lovely to have that. And the other one that I got was this, the Witch's Familiar deck, which I did ask for and got from a friend, so thank you, friend. And I wanted it to match this, so I've got like sort of the complete set of the witches. Now I do believe they're making another deck perhaps in 2021, so I'll be adding that one to my collection because I do like all of these cards. So yeah, I've got all these 3, and these are the 3 that I'm going to be mainly using, and then the movie one will be complementing it. So I've decided that I will shuffle on camera because I don't do that very often. I thought it would be a nice opportunity, and I want a nice relaxed video. So what big change is going to be happening? And I said this is sort of feeling over a month to maybe 2 months max. It's a very near future reading. And that one wanted out. Magic. Right, beautiful. I like this already. Alright, so what's the big change that's going to be happening in your life? Something magical. This is about the magic in your life, something that feels magical to you. I suspect perhaps feels impossible. It feels very impossible in your life, and for it to happen in your life seems like a miracle, a wish come true. You've been perhaps trying to manifest this, even if you're not consciously I manifest things into my life, law of attraction, the law of assumption and all the rest of it. this is something you really want to happen. And I think you don't think it's going to happen. I think you think it's forbidden. I think you think you're whistling up a gum tree, you know, that you're sort of wishing on the star, wishing on the moon. It's just, you know, not going to happen. Like winning the lottery. You buy your tickets, but it's more in hope than expectation. But I think for a lot of you, this thing, and it doesn't have to be the lottery. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, by the way. I'm not prophesizing that. That's just an example. What I'm saying is that there's something in your life that you really want, or you're really attracted to, and you're really like, I'd like it. And it seems forbidden to you. It doesn't seem possible. It could be going for that dream career. It could be asking that person out. It can be just... maybe there's something that you like doing, and like, you know, 1 in 1,000 people manage to do this thing, you know, like a trick shot on a snooker table, that kind of thing. And you just don't think you're going to get it. And the big change over the next month or so, you know, then the next few days to the maximum of like a month or two, the big change is that you're going to have a strike of good fortune that actually makes the forbidden magical thing possible, or actually brings it into your life. And I'm really pleased for you, because I think there's something that you want that just doesn't seem possible. Maybe you've been looking for a job for ages. Maybe you've been trying to find a really great person to be in a relationship with, and it's just not been happening. And it seems like, yeah, you're going to have a strike of good fortune that brings something into your life that you really want, but seems highly unlikely. Four of Wands. That's very stable. That's like family energy. It's like the foundation of your life, getting married card. So, you know, it could be, you know, that there's something in your life that that you really want, and you might feel that this would stabilise your life or give you a happy home life. And it's saying that, yeah, there's big changes, sort of. And this is all a very positive reading, so I feel that the changes are positive. The Hanged Man. Yeah, I think this might be you know, you might have to wait for it, you know. But I think mainly what this is saying is that it's not so much you have to wait for it. I think you've been waiting for it for a long time, but you've changed your attitude, the way of thinking about something. You've been changing, you've been seeing things from a different viewpoint. You've been thinking outside of the box. And that sort of is bringing about your good fortune. So it's this thing maybe you just suddenly started to think. Maybe you've had a plan or a desire or an ambition that you have been working towards, but it's just not materialising, or you've not really been giving it 100%. You may receive a new piece of information or get a sudden epiphany or a new idea, a new way of thinking about it that brings about the good fortune. Or the good fortune is this new way of thinking about it. And because you're sort of looking at it from a different angle, you're sort of looking at it and going, okay, then how about, you know. And it just sparks something in you, and you just have this new idea, this new way of thinking about it, and it just brings about new things. Ace of Swords, yeah, because I think there's been a feeling of being trapped in something. Now, the big change is to do with being trapped. Now, the Eight of Swords it's very much a message about you can't see like the wood for the trees. You can't see, you're blindfolded, you can't see that actually there's a very easy way out of this. And I think that's what you're having, a different mindset about something. Or you're having a new experience about something, and it's freeing you, because the Eight of Swords is just as much about freeing yourself from this blindfold as it is showing you that you are blindfolded. And this is the change. So there's already established that there's a situation that you perhaps can't see clearly, or that you think isn't going to happen, and the message is actually in the near future it could well happen. You're going to get something that allows you to get the thing that you want. You can't see it yet, but it's going to happen. You've got lots of choices. Lots of choices. You have a lot more options than you think you do. So I think some of you feel restricted, but it's saying, no, you've got a lot of good fortune, a lot of options. There's a lot of choice ahead for you. There's a lot of choice ahead for you. So Don't feel restricted. All I can say is you're going to get a strike of really good luck that's going to allow you to see things in a new way. I think you're going to be able to establish where you've perhaps been blocking yourself. I think you're going to be able to see where you've been making things harder for yourself, subconsciously most likely. And then your options open up and your opportunities open up and you start to see the world in a new way. And I think you're just going to be so much more open to what's going on in your life in the world and not being so restricted. And that's really going to make your life a lot more secure, because I think you're going to feel a lot more secure in your life. So I think if you felt very unstable, you're suddenly going to feel a lot more secure. And I think it's because this thing which has always seemed forbidden and not likely, you start to think that, oh, maybe I could get that job. Maybe I could meet someone like, that I've always wanted to meet. This is very positive. This is such a lovely reading. You're really getting a lot of expansion in your outlook and in your mind and in your opportunities. All I can say is you're going to get so many different opportunities. You may struggle to decide overall what you actually do want to do in the future. Beautiful. I love giving this reading. It's wonderful. If you want to get a private reading from me, you can. All you need to do is send me an email. All the information that you need is in the description box. And then just send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I'll be happy to hear from you. So otherwise, you please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, so you chose the red suite, so this is your reading. The tarot decks that I actually got for Christmas was the movie tarot. So we're going to be using that. And I also got The Witch's Familiar tarot, which I particularly wanted because I wanted it to match the other two decks that I've got that you've seen me use before, the Witch's Wisdom and the Witch's Kitchen. So now I've got the three. I think they are making more of these like next year, 2021. So I'll probably be getting their other cards as well because I just really like them. So we're going to be using all these three. I'm going to be doing the shuffling on camera, and then we'll supplement what these cards say with the movie tarot. So you get a bit of sound of shuffling. Oh, I haven't got a proper ASMR kit, but you can hear me shuffling. Ooh. That's an interesting contradiction of cards, peace and ferocity. I'm just going to check Watchtower of the North because I just want to double check something. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is sort of, I had a feeling when that card came up, that's why I wanted to check it, because I didn't want to, because there's a card, there's the Yule card, and I just thought, I don't think they're quite the same thing, and they're not. So it's been ages since I've actually had that card come up in a reading, the Watchtower of the North, the Winter card. And it's really about going through like a dark night of the soul. It's about going through all the deep, dark, dismal. It's lots of shadow work. It's lots of work going within yourself and finding the bits that you don't really like. It's shadow work's doing the stuff about yourself that you don't like and coming to terms with it and forgiving yourself and learning to love yourself despite the things that you regret doing, despite the parts of yourself that you resent and you don't like. It's about accepting that you've done these things, that you're going to do better next time, and that some of the things that you're really tough on yourself about are actually not that bad. I mean, yeah, some of the things that you don't like about yourself, there's a good reason that you don't like them. But sometimes we really hate ourselves and really punish ourselves, even subconsciously, for things that actually aren't that bad. And actually, if someone else in our lives did them, we'd be a lot more forgiving. what you're going through is important shadow work in the next sort of few weeks to a month, maybe a little bit longer. You're going through them because you need to. That's to be blunt. Maybe you're making the active decision that you recognise that you've got certain things in your life that are so unhealthy, unhelpful, and that you want to deal with them. You're going to be doing that. If you've made that choice, I admire you. This is hard work and you're doing a good job. If this has sort of been thrust upon you by circumstance, you're still doing a good job. Well done. And I think it's even harder to do when you sort of haven't made that choice for yourself. So I admire you and keep it up, because you're going to be getting peace at the end of it. If you've been troubled by things, if you've been struggling, if it's been bringing out the bad side of you, and you want rid of it because you want a more peaceful life, you are going to get it. You're going to find your peace, but you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to go through this period. Maybe it's been caused by what's happened in 2020. Maybe because of the change in your life, it's been thrust upon you, or you've recognised that, you might not have necessarily thought the things that you were doing were that bad before, but now you're sort of distanced from them. Maybe you're looking and thinking, I don't like that I've done that. I don't like that I've been doing this or being this way. And you're going through the mill to get the rewards. So please be assured at the end of it is your rainbow, and that's peace. I think you're going to be at peace with yourself, and you can't underestimate how wonderful that is and how important it is to love yourself and to be at peace with your life, with yourself in your life. And I think that's the true meaning of life in many ways, is to be satisfied with your life and where you're going and what you're doing with it. And I think you're going to get that big reward. And what's going to be helping you on that journey is the ferocity. This is why I get the feeling that a lot of you perhaps have made the decision to do this, is the ferocity for you to not give up. The ferocity within yourself to come out of this journey at the other end a survivor, a victor. You're the winner at the end of this. And you will be the winner, because I think you'll have conquered a tough part of yourself. You'll have conquered the part of yourself that, as I say, you may not like, or you may be disappointed with. Maybe something's happened and you've disappointed yourself. But you're going through this dark night of the soul, and at the end of it, you're going to be a much better person, a much healthier person. And I don't think anything's going to stop you. That ferocity, that desire to not give up and to pursue your peace, it is just going to win out over everything. And that's the thing that's going to really support you. So I feel confident in saying to you that you'll be all right. Right, I just want to supplement. Those flew out, okay, because I did want 3 cards. I mean, I'll go for a 4th one, but these 3 flew out, so I'll take them. So, oh gosh, beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. I'm going to read them as a whole, but the others I was going over them one by one. Ooh. The devil. See, you got 3 major arcana there that just flung themselves out as I was shuffling. And that was the 4th one I would have gone for. Oh, c'est magnifique. So, what big change is, I feel for a lot of you, because of these 4 extra cards, a lot of you might be coming to the end of this journey. A lot of you might be saying this is recognisable because your ferocity has carried you this far, and you're actually in the phase of having the peace. So I think a lot of you have spent maybe months, maybe weeks, months, whatever, going through this dark night of the soul, and you're already at the point where you're starting to feel at peace with yourself. You might not have finished it yet, you might still have a bit left to work through, but you're basically there. I think for a lot of you, if not all of you, you're basically almost there. You know, the end of the tunnel is in sight, and you can feel the sunlight, touching your toes as you run through the tunnel. And the sun's just about to break on your face. And that's what's coming. You're in a phase where you feel you're a star is born. It's like being reborn. It's about the Tower comes just before the Star. And the Tower is the moment where the tower collapses and you find out that it wasn't that stable, and in fact it's traumatic and painful and it's shocking, but actually at the end of it you realise you can get rid of the stuff that was holding you back. And this is what you've gone through. The Tower moment for you is this realisation that you've made decisions, or you've done things, or you've been the type of person that you don't want to be, or you've been living a life that you didn't want to live. And you've had, I think, your Tower moment. And you're coming out of it now, and you're coming out of it with a fresh sense of perspective, a sense of abandoning the things that you no longer need, but having so much wisdom and experience because of it, you can just move forward and be reborn. I think the Devil card has come up for you because a lot of people have very bad feelings about the Devil card, that it's all about the toxic bad things in your life, but it's actually not. There's no tarot card that's truly good or bad, if I'm honest. It's just a matter of the question and perspective on what's going on. And I think for you, the Devil card is giving you this opportunity that because you've already gone through it and you've come out the other end, you could withstand having lots of money, for instance, or you could withstand experiences that for a lot of other people would destroy them, but you've already been through something and come out much stronger and much better, or you're going to. And so you can be introduced to things that won't make you lose your head, because you've already been there, done that, and you're a much stronger person. You've got immense strength. It's like Ripley can fight off the aliens. She'd already fought off the aliens at this point, because this is Ripley from Aliens 2, isn't it? And she'd already survived the aliens from the first one. So she had the knowledge and the strength needed in Aliens 2 to go through that journey again and to try and get everybody out of that experience. It's been a long time since I've seen the film, but I remember she was saving the little girl and the other soldiers because she knew the score. So there's a situation here where you might be reintroduced to something that you're thinking, but that didn't help me before, or I'm in this situation as a consequence of that. But it's saying, no, you're going to get maybe this situation back again, but you can handle it this time because you screwed up before, and you now know why you screwed up. You now know why you feel bad about this situation. But you were always meant to be. It's like in a career, you might be looking back and saying, I don't want to go back to that job because it stank and it's left me in this dark night of the soul situation, and I don't want to go through that again. But it's saying, no. You were always meant to have this job. You're always meant to do this, but you weren't ready psychologically, but you are now. So if you're reintroduced to something, it doesn't mean your ex is coming back, by the way. It just means that there's something that you felt wasn't good in your life or wasn't healthy for you or whatever. It's saying that, no, it's coming back into your life or something similar. So it doesn't mean a repeat of a bad relationship. It means a better relationship that you can always have been able to have or to be in. But now you've got the wisdom to get through it, and it won't hurt you. It won't hurt you in the same way, and it won't hurt you in a different way because you now have the strength and the wisdom to deal with it. So it's like if you had an opportunity a few years ago and you took it and it went wrong because you were too young or you were too inexperienced, or you wanted the wrong things from it, or you wanted things from it that were okay, but they, in retrospect, you could have made different decisions. It's like you're getting a second chance, and you think it was bad and it wasn't good and it derailed your life a bit, and it may have, but it's saying now, no, you're going to have the sun. You're going to have happiness and positivity. And why? Because you've been through the journey. You've got the strength. You've got the ferocity. You do not want to make the same mistakes. I'm not telling you don't want to make the same mistakes. You know inside yourself. You're telling me that you don't want to make the same mistakes that you made last time, and that's why you are not going to make them. Yeah, there'll be a whole brand new set of mistakes, but I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as bad as what you made before. And a lot of you, I don't think, made truly awful mistakes. I think you just feel bad about them. But even if you did completely screw up, you get in a second chance, and the wonderful, big, lovely change for you is that you're going to make a success of it this time. You are not going to screw up. If you get a second chance at your dream job, it's going to be your dream career and it's going to work. Because you're older, you're wiser, and you have the benefit of loving yourself, of acknowledging your failures, of acknowledging that you want things that aren't always good for you, and the emotional and mental strength to resist the things that you know are truly going to destroy you. Beautiful. It's beautiful reading. I'm just getting reading after reading that's beautiful to see and to give. So if you have been or are currently going through these really dire times where you feel rubbish and it's really hard for you, and as I say, these dark nights of the soul where you've got to really dig deep and acknowledge where you don't like yourself, you're coming out at the end of it, and you are currently loving yourself, and you're going to love yourself. Trust me, you're getting peace at the end of this, and you are getting a beautiful new life. And this is the big change that's ahead for you. So don't give up, don't stop, keep going. You're basically there. Keep up the good work. If you want a private reading on this or anything else, my details are all in the description box. You can read it, send me an email, I'll get right back to you. But other than that, I wish you the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening, and goodbye. Okay, last but not least, the Orange Suite. So the decks that I got for Christmas, I got this, the Movie Tarot, and I also got this one, which is Familiar, which I was very pleased to get because it sort of completes my little collection. Well, sort of temporarily completes my collection because apparently they're going to be doing another one, which I oh, excuse me. I did a little burp there because I gulped down some tea in between the third and fourth reading, so my throat wasn't so dry. Now it's repeated on me, I do apologise. Anyway, I love these cards, so I asked for that to complete it, but they're going to be doing more, and I'm glad about that because I love these cards. So we're going to use these three mainly, and then we're going to use the Movie Tarot and some more, and I'm going to be shuffling all of them on camera. I corrected Jay, well, I sort of commented I haven't got Swish ASMR gear to do, but so you can listen to the shuffling. And after that little impromptu burp, boy am I glad I don't. But let's get shuffling. Well, these two flew out. I only wanted one because I wanted one of each, but two fell out, so I'm going to have to accept that. Should I put that there? All right, give me a second. I was just checking out Spirit Initiation there because I just wanted to clarify something, and actually it isn't quite, it's sort of given me food for thought on what the book has said, because I feel that actually that works in really good, because actually this is beautiful. I'm so lucky today. I've had like 4 wonderful readings to give, and I know we've still got more to shuffle, but this is really lovely. The big change that's going to be happening, I really think it's sort of over the next month. It's very near future, but I always give a proviso that the energies sort of can linger for like a couple of months. But the big change is I think that you're going through a spiritual progression, a spiritual development. Because the initiation, it actually says in the book about this feeling of oneness with the universe. And that makes sense to me. I think what you're going to do is just start to feel spiritually aware. I think you're spiritually opening up. And this is a big change, and I think it's a very beautiful one. And the area of your life that it's happening is come up with forbidden and breathe, apple and eucalyptus. So for me, actually, the spiritual development in the area of what it's affecting is your ability to expand your horizons, to expand your awareness to everything, to believe that anything is possible. So I think that some of you currently are, or have been recently, very restricted in your desires or your expectations of yourself in your life. But the big change that's coming to you, or is it maybe already is happening, is that you're starting to expand your beliefs in yourself and in what can happen in your life. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's it. You're really starting to believe more of yourself, that you're capable of so much more, that you can achieve so much more, and that, you know, this sort of, people have this belief, oh, things like that don't happen to me, or things like that aren't for people like me. And you're letting go of that. So you're expanding your horizon. The things that seemed forbidden and that you can't consume, this is for me the breathe, it's the things that you don't believe that you can have, are actually, you're actually starting to come to a realization, of course you can have those things. Of course it's possible for that to happen to you. So of course it's possible for you to aim for the stars and get them. Beautiful. What's going to assist you on this journey? What, you know, the rain, and it's awareness. It's this same message. You are now becoming aware of perhaps how you've been limiting yourself, or you're becoming aware of other people that have what you want, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, they're not so different from me. In fact, they're quite similar. Actually, there's a lot of things about them that I recognise, and they've got what I want. And if they can do it, I can do it. And that's the big change. I think you're just becoming much more aware of, you're opening your eyes and opening your mind. It's beautiful to see. That's a big change. That's a big spiritual, mental change. And you've got it. Oh, Knight of Wands. You are now being blessed with an adventurous spirit. Because you're expanding, and you're expanding your horizons and realising that there's so much more for you. You're feeling much more adventurous. You're willing to take risks that you perhaps weren't willing to take before. You're expanding who you are and what can happen in your life. You're willing to travel to places you wouldn't consider travelling to before. You're willing to take quick chances. You're not willing to sit on your hands and wait for events to develop. You're willing to jump in there and seize the moment. Four of Swords. Contradictory energy there, because it's also saying that you are willing to take a rest from something, that you're willing to allow things to work in your subconscious. So I think what you've actually got is this simultaneous realization that anything's possible, but also the realization that it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do anything at this time. All things are possible, but it doesn't mean that you have to jump up and take that adventure. Let's see what else the cards say. Page of Coins, yeah. Because you feel that there's still so much to learn. It's like you're discovering your position in the infinite universe and thinking, God, there's so much left for me to learn. So as much as you know there's out there to discover, you're also willing to step back and absorb it. Yeah, because you're so sort of feeling so in touch and in tune with the universe, that you're like, it's all there for me, but I don't have to rush. I can go off on my adventures. I can discover these magnificent, exciting things and learn these brand new lessons and accumulate all this knowledge and experience. And I can also take a sit back and just watch the world go by while I enjoy a good cup of tea or coffee at a cafe. Yeah. the big change is that you're just coming to a truth, and it's a truth that you're willing to communicate and accept and talk about and think about. You're very much in a phase of being in touch with the universe, being in touch with yourself, expanding your horizons and being aware all of a sudden of the opportunities that are available to you in the world, but you're not making any rash decisions. There's too many cards saying about learning and accumulating information and, you know, gathering knowledge and not acting on it just yet. And combining it with that, it's saying that you are aware of all the excitement that's out there in the world for you, but that you don't want to jump in head first into that excitement and make any rash decisions. What you want to do is have fun, have excitement, have adventures, but very much moderated with the accumulation of knowledge, of an education, of being able to communicate and travel the world, but in a fresh new way. And that's very much influenced by the Four of Swords, where you recognise that just because you have all this and this opportunity to rush out and do things, you have an awareness that you don't actually have to do that, and then maybe it's a better idea to process the information and the knowledge and the change before you take baby steps out in this new energy and go out into the world and accumulate even more knowledge and wisdom. You're becoming wise. This is like you're getting another level of wisdom. You're going through a very big spiritual development, really having your mind opened and expanding spiritually, and having enough wisdom to realise that this is an exciting adventure, but you want to take it a bit slower than that. So don't feel bad that, you know, you might have a bit of contradictory energy or quick, let's do this, and then tempered with, now come on, you know it's not a good idea to make rash decisions that you might later regret. Let's take this a bit slower, read a bit of paperwork, ask a few people some advice, and think on it, have a good sleep, and then when we wake up we'll decide what to do. And that's really good. That's good change. Maybe you are very much a Knight of Wands who likes to rush in, and you're tempering yourself because you maybe just instinctively know that you need to step back and check something out first. It's beautiful. 4 really great readings. Really great readings. I really enjoyed doing all of these. So that's the big change that's coming up for you, sort of over the next month. You know, might come in quicker, go out quicker, but when it comes in, it's likely to stay around for a bit because you have a lot. Your energy here in these readings a bit slower than the others, some of the others. So I hope you've enjoyed that reading. If you want to contact me about a private reading, you can. All the information that you need is in the description box, and then you just need to send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I will get right back to you. But otherwise, you please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye.